Listen, so we're here, you know, you can't sugarcoat what's going on, right? Because Mel, this was his room, and this is where he brought us. And I know, listen, you guys don't know, but we are told back there, hey, don't get all fucking depressed on stage. You know, they tell us, like, listen, you know, just fucking, they're not here. This is not a eulogy, you know? And some of us, like Paul, we were real close with him. So it's hard to be up in the room that he, you know, it's basically his house on this night. And like go, all right, you know, fuck that guy who just died, you know? I got some real important shit to say. But listen, man, I gotta share some stories about Mel real quick. Me and him had an ongoing joke for years, all right? And I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna, for those of you who don't know me, I really like the seeds of when I tell you something, there's a lot of truth in the humor. I've known him before I was married, all right? I know him before I had kids. I know him for a long time. And one of the things we would do for years is he would come over. He was a pot smoker. I didn't start smoking weed up until 6 years ago because my son got me into it. Right? My sons are the ones that got me into weed because they're like, hey, Dad, you gotta calm the fuck down, you know? You know, you're too fucking tight, man. And at the time, you know, I was trying to get along with them because I was a strict dad, but now they're older, and you know, you could tell that they wanted to kick my ass. So me, I saw it as a peace pipe, you know, because it was all three of my sons, and they're all smoking weed, and they're like, hey, Dad, you know, you're always crazy, you know, when we're little, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man, you know? Right? You know, now, you know, it was all three of them. And you gotta understand, they all my sons cage fight. I don't tell you bullshit. I had these motherfuckers boxing, and this is their boxing program. We would start with the Russian Armenians in Glendale, because Russians fight very straightforward, right? Very straightforward, and they sit on their legs when they throw punches. So if you're gonna learn to fight a Russian, you gotta learn how to take shots. And then, and my son's up there. I bring him right here. Fabian, you can tell the story if you want, bro. So check this out. So from there we go to South Central and fight the brothers, right? Because you motherfuckers move. When you fight a black guy, like, you know, you could throw a jab and you're like, motherfucker, stay still, you know? You know, and brothers are fucking, you know, you get jabbed and you're supposed to counter, but you're like, oh, motherfucker. And then from there, I would take him, there was a guy named Turtle. He was in East LA, and very old school boxing style, man. Mexican, you know, Mexican boxing is little head movement and a lot to the body. You cover up, but straightforward, kind of Russian style, but more movement. But I'd take my kids, and my kids would always have like brand new gear, you know, because I'm an immigrant, all right? I snuck in fair and square. All right, but my kids are second generation, and they would wear fucking brand new fucking shoes, brand new gloves, and everything was brand new. And the kids I knew the kids that were gonna fight, they were little angry little Mexicans, you know. And then you can hear the kids like talking, you know, and then in Spanish, me lo voy a chingar, este pinche puto, right? Me lo voy a culiar, este cabrón, right? And that's the dad telling the kid like, hey, fucking chingatelo, right? And then my kid's like asking me, what did he say? And then I said, hey, mijo, he just said, have a good fight, you know? But I was really hard on my boys when they were little, and I'm gonna tell you something. Mal was the first guy to ever check me. There was 4 guys in my life as a dad, because I grew up without a dad, and I had a lot of my cousins pass away because of the gang affiliation, and some of them did some hard time. And I was like, fuck, man, I don't want my kids to end up like that. So And it was, I remember the time, it took a lot of balls to tell me something, all right? To tell me how to raise my kids, it took a lot of balls, because you're gonna tell a grown-ass man how to raise his boys, but for whatever reason, fucking Mel was high enough to tell me. Whatever weed he had was really good. Because we were outside and I was drinking and he's like, hey, Willie, you know, you can't talk to your boys like that, man. That's just too much. And I was drinking and I was like, for what, you know, I saw through the weed. And I said, man, I think you're right, you know? And he's like, I know I'm right, man. You know, you gotta be more loving. And that was the first time that I started actually showing more kindness to my boys, to all three of them. And Mel had a big part on that, you know. I'll tell you another story. And Paul, you know, I'm sorry, bro, I'm gonna fucking call you out on this. But Paul had a special on HBO, and I was a young comic. And I was you know, Mel came up to me and goes, hey, Paul wants you to help write on his HBO special. It's called Armadillos and something. I don't know, but it was a great special. And Mel said, hey, man, Paul chose you to help write on his special. This is in the 90s, right? And I was like, fuck, I was overwhelmed. I'm a young comic. I'm like, well, fuck this Paul Rodriguez wants my fucking ass to help write. Oh, fuck! So I was ready, you know. He goes, yeah, tomorrow is our first session. And I was, all right, you know. I was like, well, I'm gonna show up at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. And he goes, no, 10? No, 11? And lunchtime? What time? Goes, no, Paul's nocturnal. And I, what? Fucking Paul's nocturnal. Show up at 11 at night. Motherfucker, 11 at night? What the fuck? I remember drinking a bunch of coffee to go to, and Paul had an apartment in Pasadena at the time, a house in Pasadena. And I was trying to stay awake, and we wrote for like 3 weeks, right? And I'm trying to stay awake to fucking write, because we would write till 3 in the morning. And I don't know how Paul did it, but he was awake. Like, whatever coffee he was taking was way better than mine. Like I said, man, I think he's drinking like Cuban coffee, you know? Because he was fucking up, man. Right? And I remember I look at Mel like, don't this fucker ever sleep? He goes, no, dude, he's just waking up right now. But I think it was the coffee, Paul, if you're here. I just think it was good coffee, bro, you know? So we had this thing, me and Mel had this ongoing thing, right? For those of you, you know, who know him, and those of you who don't know him, look him up. Mel was not funny. But I always told him that, you know? It's not like I'm not talking shit because, you know, oh yeah, you're not saying shit because, you know, he's not here. No, I always told him, you know, write a joke, motherfucker, goddamn. I used to get on his ass, you know, like he had the same fucking 5 minutes for fucking 20 years, you know. But we had this thing where we would say, hey, I don't know, this started 15 years ago. He would come over to the house and he'd call me late at night and he'd say, hey, I'm coming over, right? It'd be like 10 o'clock at night, you know. And Mel was a pot smoker. I'm a drinker, right? So we had this thing where he would come over and go in his car and he'd get his weed and we'd talk about life, right? We get all spiritual and philosophical. And so he's smoking weed and I always have my fucking 12-pack. So I'm drinking beer and he's smoking weed. And then one time, I don't know how it happened, but he goes, hey man, when you die, you know, I'm gonna say good things about you. And I was drinking and I go, fuck you, bro. Bro, when you die, I'm gonna say good things about you. And we would always fucking do this thing, right? Like for years, up until like a couple weeks ago. We said, listen, he was supposed to die a month ago, but he didn't. All right? they called me and they go, hey, you got to go to Kaiser, man, because it's looking like he ain't going to make it, you know? And I was like, oh, fuck. You know, I forget what I was, and I went to Kaiser, wherever he was, somewhere like Whittier, I think. I don't know where the fuck, man. And then I try to get in, and then there's a security guard there, and he's like, no, you can't, it's too late, visiting hours are over. And I said, no, man. I said, you know, he was a cool security guard, man. And I was like, hey, bro, listen, I know there's protocol, and I know there's rules and regulations, man, but this is like a brother to me, man. And they're telling me he might not make it. So the dude's like, looked around and he goes, all right, man, fucking room 204, right, whatever, right? I'm like, all right, bro, fucking, you know, stay black, right? So I go, and I see there, and you can hear, I don't know if you ever gone when someone's like ill, and so there's a breathing machine, and then there's the but I look at Mel, and he's not moving and not breathing, and I'm thinking, oh shit, he's gone, right? And I'm just looking at him, and I'm almost saying goodbye, but he goes, hey, Willie. And I go, damn, bro. Fuck, I was about to put some coins in your eyes like Nacho Libre. Him and I would always talk politics, right? We would always talk politics, religion, and that's why I enjoyed him, because we all have friends. All of us have friends, superficial friends, right? They're all at this level, right? Where you have no real conversations. The conversations are always like this. Hey, what's up, man? How's everything? Everything's good? Oh, right on, man. You doing good? Yeah, man. How's the kids? Ah, beautiful, man. Fucking love you. Boom, 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 right? And that's it. That's it. And then you go lower, right? You go deeper friends. Friends were like, hey, man, what's happening? Oh, man, the bitch left me, you know? Yeah, it's like, what? Yeah, man, fuck, you'll get her back. Fucking don't worry about it, man. What, you gonna be all right? I don't know I'm gonna be all right, man. Fucking, you know, you have deeper friends, man. So he was in my deep level as friends, you know. I honestly, the friends that I have, I could count them on one hand, and 3 of them are dead. So I'm down to 2, motherfuckers. And then, you know what? It doesn't help when my friend I told my buddy, dude, I had 2 people pass away just recently. Just 2 people that in the comedy world pass away like that, you know? And then it fucking didn't make me feel any better. And he goes, hey, you know, they always go in 3s. Right? And I'm like, oh, motherfuckers, I'm next. Shit. Hey, you guys, man, listen, there's a lot of things that I'm not a part of, you know, like I'll get invited to shit and I'm like, okay, I don't really know that fucking guy. You know, I know there's people, you know, but I knew Mel, and he was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spirit, you guys. Thank you very much. My name is Willie Barcena.